This is a global meltdown. We're in the midst of it. I think it's pretty damn obvious at this point. All you got to do is pick up a newspaper, turn on CNN, and you're hearing about some tornado that destroyed this entire town, or some terroristic attack, or some new disease. But the problem that I have with this, for the most part, is that most of the most serious catastrophes that we're going to be facing, they're of our own creation. This is what I don't understand, that there's no sense of outrage about where we are as a species and what our responsibilities are towards ourselves. We don't have the sense of outrage that we actually need to deal with this series of catastrophes that we've created for ourselves over the past few years. This is a global meltdown. We're melting ourselves down on a daily basis. We're destroying our planet piece by piece, bit by bit, and we don't give a damn. And it's about time that we did, because the repercussive effects of the foolishness that we are generating is eventually going to destroy us. Where are our priorities as a people? Where are our priorities as a people? And that's what I'm talking about. There's so many problems, I don't even know where to begin to start. I mean, some of the things that we know and some of the things that we've forgotten about. For example, we're still sitting on top of an enormous global thermonuclear stockpile. There's approximately 36,000 thermonuclear weapons between the United States, Russia, France, the United Kingdom, China. There's an enormous stockpile of weapons that can be targeted to strike any city on this planet within 15 to 20 minutes, half an hour at the most. We're not dealing with that anymore. It's as if these weapons have just dried up and blown away. Well, they haven't. They're still here. We have the Katrina situation in Mississippi. We still have thousands of people, tens of thousands of people living in trailers with no end in sight. The government doesn't give two damns about them. They've left them down there in limbo. Well, you already know that we're in the midst of a war in Iraq that may spread into Iran, that may spread across the entire Middle Eastern region. War is not going to go away. We're living in a dangerous planet, and we're living in a planet with even more dangerous people. And the weapons of war have changed over the past 50 years, where we've gone from chemical explosives to now chemical, biological, and nuclear weapons. And the sad fact is that these weapons are going to be used. The atomic weapons were designed in the sense to never use the atomic weapons, because the consequences of using these weapons is far too great. The reality is that they've already been used in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, and most likely they will be used again. And considering the scope of the conflict that we see fomenting in the Middle East, we never know what we may be facing over the course of the next few years. By this fall, we can be in Iran. So war is something that we're not going to ever see step away again. We're going to be fighting most likely for the next 2 decades and maybe even beyond that. And what we're going to have to do is to develop practical solutions as to how we as a society and as a people are going to deal with it. Fact is that we're living in a world that's on the brink. I mean, you look at your news, read your newspapers, you see it every day. But what I don't think that we want to recognize is our own personal responsibility in terms of what we see, what we're creating, the environment that we're creating for ourselves. Where do people go when they want to get answers to how to deal with all of this stuff? Because it's not going away. This is what the Global Meltdown Clinic is going to do. It's going to give people answers that they need to deal with all of these different catastrophes. The broad spectrum of emergencies. This is the broad spectrum answer clinic.